When it comes to nutrition, it's all about balance. 80% of the time you can eat healthy. Just think about how many calories did I eat today. So honestly, get rid of that. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicole. I make videos every week. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. I post wellness content and we just do girl talks here. And let's just get started with today's video. So as you see on the title, I just thought I could actually share my binge eating story. Now, this is a very difficult thing to talk about for me because it was a very dark and very just intense time in my life, and I just wanted to break this down. I don't want to dwell too much and ramble too much on this video. I just want to get straight to the point, and I don't want to make this a negative video because I know there might be people who are watching this who are still going through, you know, depression and binge eating. I'm all about spreading positivity. I'm all about just making sure that we all take care of ourselves, of our mental health, and that's literally the message that I have for you from this video. So I hope it does help you out in some way. So first thing, I wanted to just define binge eating. So I will try to link the scientific definition, but honestly it's just overeating, excessive eating, when you just eat a large amount of food in one go or in one sit, and you do that frequently. That's the difference between overeating and binge eating. Overeating, it's more controllable, like you just do it once in a while when you feel like, oh, I've had too many servings, or I have 2 servings instead of 1 serving of this meal. But when it comes to binge eating, it's almost like you are escaping something else and using food as comfort, or is using food to actually make yourself feel better. I started binge eating between 2019 and 2021. I was about to graduate in May that year, and honestly just transitioning from being in university and being out in the real world, I started being stressed about a lot of things. I started isolating myself from people because I just felt like very hopeless about my life. I started feeling very sad, and I felt this deep depression about a lot of things that I will not mention right now because I never want this to be negative. When I started experiencing that depression and anxiety, I started isolating myself, started feeling lonely, and it led me to just using food as, you know, something that would give me comfort and make me feel safe and feel better about myself. I just used food as a source of happiness. I remember I would see some people talking about it on Twitter back then. People were talking about their struggles, and I would be like, just stop doing it, you know. And I do not want to lie, I was very judgmental to those people until it actually happened to me. My mental health was in the worst place because of binge eating on top of everything else. So I did not know how else to actually resolve that or get away from that, except for just finding, you know, food around the house and eat and stuff my face until I just want to throw up, basically. I would literally just binge because I'm bored, like the way that people binge on their favorite shows. I would literally binge on food because I'm just lonely and bored and I don't know what else to do with myself. It kind of became an addiction. So one of the first changes that I actually noticed with my body and my mental health obviously was gaining weight. I gained a lot of weight, almost 10 kilos within a few months, literally. And whenever I mention that to people, don't really believe that because I was really hiding. And the people who actually got used to me when I was smaller, whenever they tried to like make appointments with me, I wouldn't show up because I was very ashamed. Remember 2019 in May, I was about to graduate and my mom was like, you know what, we want to do a party for you, we want to celebrate your success and all of that. And I really had a tough time. I really did not want to go, but at the same time I didn't want to look like I was not grateful to my mom. So I actually showed up, but I was very insecure. Whenever I look at myself in the mirror, I did not see me. Also, like, my skin was breaking out very quickly. I had this hormonal acne that was really bad all over my face, and it happened really quick. There's literally nothing wrong with having weight gain and going through all of those changes in your life. Obviously, as women especially, we know that our weight always fluctuates, and it changes all the time, especially around that time of the month with pregnancy, a lot of hormonal changes in your life. But honestly, all of that happened within a short period of time, so I did not know how to handle it. And each time I I would go out and someone notices that I actually gain weight and they tell me, it would really kill my confidence. Also, one of the changes that I noticed was just being bloated all the time. I remember I tried so many things to get rid of bloating, but it was just not happening for me. I went to see a doctor and he did tell me that my thyroids were underactive, and I'll try to link down the scientific definition again so that I don't try to sound like I know it all, because I don't. I'm still educating myself about my health, about how binge eating has actually affected me and how it affected my health in general. And honestly, you don't really realize it, because the only thing that you can actually point out is maybe your skin and the weight gain, and you think because you've lost the weight you are all good. But honestly, there's just some other effects, just like the thyroid, underactive thyroid, which even today my thyroid functioning is not really normal. So I'm still handling that today from binge eating from 2019. I just want to talk about how I actually stopped binge eating. I think I can say when it comes to the transformation, trying to transform your body, trying to transform entirely and stop binge eating, it is not just a physical thing, it is also a mental thing. 80% mental, because honestly, think about how you actually got there. It was mainly because of a mental problem. Maybe you were very depressed, or you were just going through a tough time. So your mind was not in the right place. That's why you used food to actually find comfort and make yourself feel better. So I had to really go back deeply and understand literally what is it that made me so sad and so depressed that I needed to turn to food to actually heal myself and make myself feel better. Trying to get closer to the people that really care about me was very helpful. It's always good to just pull yourself out of that and actually be surrounded by people who remind you that you are loved. Also, I also had people to vent to, so I did not have to just buy chocolate for me to feel better. I would just call a friend and be like, yo, I don't feel good today. I feel really sad. I feel really down, and I'm doubting myself just a little bit in this situation. Can you please help me just pull myself out of that? And it's okay to actually be that vulnerable to people who like you and people who love you. And also when it comes to the mental transformation, you know, when it comes to binge eating, right, you're not just considering the food that you are eating, you're also considering everything else that you are binging on, like the type of music that you're listening to, just content that you're actually engaging in, like on social media. And I started evaluating all of that, and I realized that when I was so depressed and when I was all obsessed about overeating, I would actually watch mukbangs and just watch. I always wanted to watch content that has to do with food, because it gave me so much comfort, and all I was thinking about was food, literally. Honestly, when I was just doing that mental evaluation, I also had to get rid of those situations. I had to start changing the type of content that I'm watching on TikTok and also on YouTube. I watch really amazing spiritual and wellness YouTubers. There's Sarah's Day. She shared her binge eating story as well. She is someone who helps women transform their bodies. I started watching Lily Sabri, who is a personal trainer, watching more uplifting and more motivational content, videos from Hitomi as well. Hitomi is also a spiritual wellness YouTuber as well. I've talked about her on my channel. Those are people who actually really help me out. Whenever I watch them, I would feel so motivated to actually make an improvement in my life. And that's the thing about watching these videos. Sometimes we do not share our stories because we think we are professionals, or we think that our way is the way to go. But sometimes the more that you hear other people, you know, stories, the more relatable it is, and it's actually going to make you feel like you're not alone, and it's possible for you to be on the other side, which is a newly improved version of you, physically and mentally as well. Obviously right now I am doing really low intensity workouts. I always mention that on my TikTok and also in the last video that I posted, because I've realized that my hormones cannot handle too much stress. But I also have to give credit to lifting weights and having a gym membership, because that's where my journey started. Late 2021 in November, I just met such beautiful people who motivated me to actually start working out. I did a month-to-month gym membership. I don't know if I'm going to be consistent with this whole gym thing. So I was like, let me just do a month-to-month for now. So I went to Viva Gym. If you guys are looking for a proper gym to go to that you will not have to pay for cancellation fees. Obviously at the beginning I was not really consistent, but I would just remember each time maybe they debit my account and be like, oh, I actually have a membership. Let me actually go to the gym. I remember the first session, I actually just went to the treadmill. I did not try to stress myself and do everything all at once. I just started experimenting in different exercises until I actually found comfort and I had my go-tos. I realized that me going there and doing the simplest routine actually worked out for me, and this is more consistent. I started seeing that I'm losing weight, my body is in shape, things are looking up for me, my skin is clearing up. So obviously seeing that gave me so much confidence, and obviously when you see results, it boosts you, it just gives you more and more energy to go back because you get addicted to just that idea of improving yourself. But later on I realized that my body cannot handle too much stress. I do not need to feel like I am killing myself whenever I'm working out, like it's just a punishment. So that's why I started slowing down and I started taking walks every single day, and those are more sustainable for me. I don't know about other people, maybe it's difficult for you to work out outside, but for me that's literally the most sustainable thing. And I also found free videos on YouTube, Pilates videos. I try to link them down below, but I've talked about them in previous videos, and those are just home workouts. I do not have to deal with pressure from seeing other people at the gym or putting pressure on myself. I have my own personal goals. And also when it comes to the physical transformation, one of the things that I really had to do is not to be difficult on myself. I realized that when it comes to nutrition, it's all about balance, and also just avoiding that type of language where you feel like you eating your favorite meals, nourishing meals, or maybe ice cream and McDonald's, you feel like that is a cheat, you're cheating on your diet or you're cheating on yourself, because you're not. You're actually making yourself happy, you are satisfying your cravings. 50% of the time you can eat healthy, but then 20% use that to actually indulge. Focus on nourishing your body, listen to your body, and make sure that you give your body what it needs. If you are someone who is dealing with binge eating right now, the real takeaway from this video is actually to take care of your mental health. There's a huge relationship between your mental health and your food or your eating habits. People don't realize that those actually go hand in hand, and you have to literally dig deep and understand your childhood traumas and understand the things that are bothering you in your life, the things that you're mostly concerned about, toxic people in your life that you need to cut off. I know that sounds like you're being selfish when you always say I'm going to cut off this person and that person, but honestly it's very necessary to protect your peace and also to protect your mental health as well. Sometimes you're not depressed because you went through something, but you're depressed because you are just ingesting that from the external world. That's all you know, because the content that you are watching is negative, the songs that you're listening to are negative, surrounded with so much negativity that it actually rubs off you. And yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't ramble too much today, and I hope it did help out someone out there who happened to see this video at some point. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.